Okay, what I have here is an effort at making my very own little free energy gizmo. And what this is, it's basically a plank, a platform with a swivel and magnets here and magnets here. The magnets are specially shielded, as you can see there, because at the bottom you got a south and a north, and on this side you have the same. So it's so they repel each other. On the other side here, it's backed with steel, right? And it gives an interesting effect in that when this, by the way, has no force of its own. It's pretty level, but as you can see here, on this side it rests pretty far away, but it's relatively easy to push with my finger. Whereas with this side, you can actually get the magnets much closer together, and see how close they'll sit. However, it's a lot harder to push through the sticky point. So here what we've got a relatively light amount of weight, but over a larger distance. As you can clearly see, that distance there in between these two, it's much larger, but it's softer. It's easier, so you have to apply less pressure through that amount of through a small amount of distance. Whereas here, you got less distance, much less distance, but you have to apply probably about double the amount of pressure to get it through the sticky point. And once it goes through, it's easy. So I used these electronic scales to measure that. They're accurate to 0.1 of a gram. And pushing this way, the maximum pressure started over here at a relatively light pressure, and once it gets to the point where it wants to switch, it's at about 80 grams of pressure maximum, whereas from this side to this side it's 150 grams of pressure that it takes to get through the sticky point. So moving in that direction it's 150 grams, and moving in this direction it's 80 grams. And there's the setup, just a close-up of what's going on there. It's basically just steel there, steel at the back. Basically the north and the south travel through the steel, stopping them from interfering with what's going on here. You got a north and a south, you got a north and a south there as well. Again, the same type of shielding. They're in pretty much perfect alignment with each other. So yeah, that's it. So it's 80 grams, 150 grams this way, but a lot less distance, as you can see. So you apply the 150 grams like that, and here going this way, you apply less force, but you got to apply it over a longer period of time. And there you have it. That's my little attempt at trying to get more on one side and less on the other, which I did successfully, but it appears that it's still not good enough, because what you lose in distance in terms of bridging the gap, you gain in the sticky point. So you can see there the distance there, and there's no stick. They don't stick together at all. They're just repelling, but at a very closer, much closer space, but with a lot more push to get it through. So the sticky point is only about the width of the magnets themselves before it flips, but when it flips it gets a lot weaker. However, it extends for much longer. So yeah, there it is. But that's shielding. That right there, from there to there, shields. South travels through, goes to the north and vice versa. So it stops basically anything, or stops a lot of things from sticking. It'll still stick, but nowhere near as badly as if I put it on the front there. See now, yeah, the amount of force required to lift off that is insane, whereas the amount of force on the back of the equivalent magnet after it's shielded is peanuts. So there you go. There it is.